Clint Eastwood, Hollywood's final outlaw, steps onto Jimmy Kimmel's stage to push his new movie. But what begins as a perfunctory interview devolves into a searing confrontation that gets him thrown out of the studio. How did a straightforward talk show segment degenerate into anarchy? Let's dive in. If you're new here, smash the subscribe button and leave a comment with where you're watching from. Let's see who's tuning in for this roller coaster. The Jimmy Kimmel live set is electric, lights, blinding crowd buzzing with excitement. Clint Eastwood, well into his 90s, the night's headliner, his presence alone sufficient to quiet the room. He's here for his new film, a stark drama about a rancher fighting a corporate land grab. A tale that's as much about him as about the character. His squint, his growly draw, they're still deadly, but Clint's no fan of the talk show game, the forced laughter, the scripted lines. He agreed to it for one reason, to get the word out. Anything else? And he's not playing backstage issues already brewing. Clint's assistant Maggie, a noon-sense woman who's been at his side for decades, senses it. She warned the producers earlier, her tone low, firm. Don't turn him into a sideshow act. They nodded, but their eyes betrayed them, scheming for clicks, a viral moment to ride his legend. They want him to play along. Perhaps toss on a prop or tell a self-deprecating joke. Maggie knows better. Clint doesn't play ball. Not for studios, not for anyone. The producers ignored her and they'll pay for it. In the green room, Clint's nursing a black coffee, staring at a monitor as Jimmy Kimmel opens the show. Jimmy's on top of his game, his monologue skewering the latest celebrity meltdowns, the crowd laughing on cue. Clint's expression doesn't change, his fingers drumming lightly on the chair. Maggie times at that little sign he's sizing up the situation like a gunfighter prepping for a draw. They're going to try something, she growls to a stagehand who shrugs in the dark. The stage manager cues. It's time, and Clint rises, straightens his jacket, and strides for the curtain, alone. No fanfare. The set is a different animal. Jimmy's rapping a bit about some singer's public meltdown, the audience laughing on cue. He shifts gears, hyping Clint's entrance. The man, the legend, Clint Eastwood. The band lays down a gritty riff. The crowd erupts, and Clint steps out his walk, slow, deliberate, like he's staking claim to the room. He shakes Jimmy's hand, a brief iron grip, and sits, his framed, tensed eyes scanning lauding Clint's direction. But Clint had enough of the script. You're not listening, he interjects, interrupting Jimmy halfway through a sentence. His voice is not loud, but it has presence, quieting the murmurs. This is not about the film anymore, it is about you presuming you could make me an accessory to your production. The audience gasps. Others shout, "Tell him, Clint!" Others boo, the gap getting wider. Jimmy's smile is replaced now, his face red. He has been in bind situations before, but this is not the same. This is Clint Eastwood calling him out before millions. He attempts a laugh, but it sounds forced. "Come on, man, it's only TV," he says, throwing out his hands, addressing the audience. "We're all here to enjoy ourselves." Clint shakes his head slowly and deliberately. "Not me," he replied. "I came to talk about something that counts. You made a circus out of it." The words sting like a blow, and the crowd roars, half cheering, half jesting, the din swallowing the set. Maggie in the wings nods to herself, a grim satisfaction on her face. She's seen Clint knock down bigger egos than this, the director calls it at last. The commercial break kicking in, the monitors flashing advertisements, the band trails off, and the house lights dip slightly, signaling the pause. But Clint's still in his chair, still as a statue carved from stubbornness. Jimmy stands whispering something to the floor producer, his movements sharp, angry, the audience restless, some chanting Clint's name, others shouting among themselves. Security edging onto the stage, two burly guys in black, their eyes on Clint, but they hesitate, they know who he is. Maggie steps forward, catching the stage manager's arm. "Don't even think about laying a hand on him," she snaps, her voice low and angry. The stage manager nods, stepping back, but the tension's only escalating. During the break, the producers cluster, voices raised, trying to decide how to salvage the show. Jimmy's pacing near the desk, running his hand through his hair, muttering to himself. He knows he's losing, but he doesn't know how to turn it around. Clint, meanwhile, sits calm, sipping water. A stagehand brought his eyes scanning the audience, reading the room. A few fans in the front row lean forward, trying to get his attention, one shouting, "You're the man, Clint." He gives a small nod. Nothing more. The break's almost up and the director's made a call. Let Clint remain, but Jimmy has to take control. The cameras resume rolling. The band cues up and Jimmy forces himself to the desk. His eye face a mask of professionalism. But Clint's ready for round two, and he's not here to play nice. The studio lights snap back up to full blaze, the band's final notes trailing off as the Jimmy Kimmel live audience settles. Their murmurs is a low hum of expectation. The camera is rolling again, and Jimmy Kimmel drops into his seat. His smile practiced but strained like a man climbing back into a boxing ring after a rough round. Clint Eastwood hasn't budged his posture, unchanged eyes fixed somewhere beyond Jimmy as if the host is mere distraction. The crowd's energy is jagged, split between those cheering for Clint and others waiting for Jimmy to deliver a comeback. Backstage, Maggie's watching, arms crossed. Her expression, a mix of worry and pride. The producers are jumpy. The director's voice crackling through headsets. "Keep it tight. Jimmy, don't let him hijack the show." Jimmy leans forward, clapping once to focus the room. "We're back with the one, and